Want to make a build that's not only extremely strong but fun to use? Well, this build is what I call the Thunder Goddess build. It heavily focuses on thunder incantations, thunder weapons, and will not only have a great damage output, but have great mobility. Now, for some weapons, armors, and talisman in this build will require you to play through the Shadow of Erdtree DLC, but if you haven't, you can still build this with some alternatives that I will point out in the video. So let's start with the weapons we will use for this build. In the right hand, you will have the Bolt of Grand Sax, and you will have the Death Knight Twin Axes. The Bolt of Grand Sax has a great Ash of War called Ancient Lightning Spear, which does great damage, especially with the other talisman and stats we will touch on in a bit. The Death Knight Twin Axe has a similar effect like Bolt of Grand Sax, was having great damage, but the Ash of War Blank Bolt Twin Axe having great damage with iframes, but also being able to use a spin and slash to do huge damage onto enemies. Now, currently I have a custom armor set just to look good, but the Death Knight set would be the more optimal choice for this build. So if you have that armor set, use that instead of what I'm using. So let's run down the talisman now. In slot 1, we have the Shard of Alexander, which greatly boosts the attack power of skills. This talisman is meta at this point. Most builds use this, and this build is no different. In slot 2, you have the Lightning Scorpiontron, which boosts lightning attacks but lower damage negation. I know it sounds counterproductive, but the boost in lightning attacks is much needed, and the stats I'll set you with will help you with the lower damage negation. In both slot 3 and 4, we have the Flox Canvas Talisman, and you have the Faithful Canvas Talisman. Both raises potencies of incantations, with the Flox Canvas Talisman being the stronger variant of the two. Seeing that incantation will be used in this build heavily, you want to boost them as much as possible. Speaking of incantations, let's talk about which one to run on this build. Now, you want to use the Gravel Stone Seal, which boosts Dragon Coat incantations for obvious purposes to boost many of the incantations. So the incantations you want to use are Knight's Lightning Spear, Lanax Glaives, Forsax Lightning Spear, Golden Vow, Lightning Spear, Hone Bolt, and this incantation is optional but Light of Mequila. I personally like this because it looks cinematic. Many of these attacks are lightning attacks, and with the many boosts from talisman and armor, you should be hitting really hard. I hit for around 3k each hit, and that's me playing on New Game Plus 9, so to say it's viable is an understatement. It's a really solid build, and let's finish off with the stats. So if you're level 150 plus, which most Elden Ring players are, you want to mainly focus on faith, dexterity, and vigor in this build. So you want to make sure to have dexterity and faith at 60, seeing that's the soft cap. Make sure to put a lot of points in the vigor because you're going to need a lot of health. And for the rest of the stats, you can kind of play with it. Make sure to put some in endurance, seeing that you're going to have to use a lot of stamina with this build. Now for the stats, if you're around my level, I am currently at level 294. The stats will be on the screen so you guys can pause it for copying intention. We in this together like classmates cheating on a quiz. And there you have it. This is the Thunder Goddess build that will melt all your foes and make them fall to their knees and beg for forgiveness. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on bell notifications on. I will drop more build videos in the near, and I mean near future. Have a great, blessed day. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.